Okay, good evening, class.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Evening.
Okay. Uh, let's all stand and let's start our class with a prayer. Please stand. Let's bow down our head and all together we say in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
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 Yes, sir.
One day, Jesus was praying in a certain place. When he finished, one of his followers said to him,
Lord, teach us to pray.
and Jesus said,
When you pray, say,
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Our dear Father, our Father, art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Our dear Father, dear Father, dear Father.
In the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
So, class, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Sir,
How was your evening, guys?
Yan, sir.
doing great, sir.
Doing great. That's good. Uh, okay. Before we start our discussion for today, I would like to check your attendance first. And as I call your name, just be present. Salsala Darren,
Present, sir.
Padua,
Yes, sir.
Tolino,
Present, sir.
Tama,
Present, sir.
Gomez,
Present, sir.
Rodriguez.
I think she's having a connection problem, sir, but she's present.
Okay. Okay, that's right. Okay, okay. Ra. And next, before we go to our discussion, I would like to ask all of you if you have remembered our last meeting. So anyone who can tell what was our discussion all about last meeting? Anyone for class?
Gomez, sir.
Yes.
Can I?
Yes, Ms. Gomez. Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So our
Jenny.
discussion last meeting was all about the proper usage of canned food and the computer lab.
Yes, that's correct. So our discussion last meeting is all about the proper usage of hand tools, especially in the computer laboratory. Since our subject is all about ICT, so we must know the proper hand tools that we're going to use inside the computer laboratory. So I request all of you to please turn off your microphone so that it would not disturb other students or our discussion. Okay, good. Now, uh, I will show you a picture, and I want you uh, to recognize or say anything about the picture, because these three pictures is related to our topic for today. So the first picture is okay, is it this one in your end, class? Oh, class.
Yes, sir.
Is it this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone who can tell what is going on with the first picture in the share screen, in the screen? Anyone from the class?
So, nadagma ang person, sir.
Yes. A person is stumbled because of the cables. Cables. Are you familiar with that cable?
No.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because we talk about ICT, so that cable is the LAN cable. It is used in the ICT room or in any internet or internet connectivity. So, next picture. What about that picture?
Cable, sir.
Cable, yes. Yes, it's also a cable, but in this picture it shows that the cable is rerouting. So this cable rerouting it causes danger to anybody from the laboratory or any place that use cable, because it may affect the environment, or the facilities in the computer laboratory. So next picture is this. I know all of you are familiar with the picture, because uh, I know that in your individual houses you are doing this. So who can tell what happened to this picture? Anyone?
Extension wire.
Extension wire, sir.
Yes, extension wire. So this picture shows a loaded outlet, and this loaded outlet emphasizes a danger to a house. It may cause a fire because of the electricity. And so based on the picture, that you have seen, so what do you think? What is your hint about the topic that we are going to tackle for this evening? So what do you think is the topic? Do you have any idea? Anyone?
About cable, sir.
Yes.
Ano, proper
About electricity.
Electricity. Yes, Padua. What?
kuan sir kanang i-arrange jud para malikay sa disgrasya.
Yes, proper arrangement of the cables Another
Yes, sir.
answer. Yes, Gomez.
I think that our topic for today, sir, is all about the factors that makes the computer lab be in risk, or the risk factors of ka-answer kaning computer laboratory, I think, sir.
Yes, very good answer, Miss Gomez. And all of your answers from answers of Mr. Salasalan and Mr. Padua is also related to our topic for this evening. So I will share to you my screen, my PowerPoint presentation. So is it visible to and students?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay. So our topic for this evening is all about occupational health and safety. So before we start the lesson part, let's read together first the objectives of the lesson for this evening. So together, guys, can we read it all together?
At the
At
end,
the list our students should be able
OHS procedures in the workplace. They understand
under
OHS requires and analyze information
information on how to carry out
processes safe.
safety.
Okay, thank you. So, occupational health and safety procedures, it refers to the legislation, policies, procedures, and activities that aim to protect the health, safety, and welfare of all the people at the workplace. So, health and safety procedure is the responsibility of all the persons in the computer and technology industries. So, you must identify the hazard where you are working and decide how dangerous they are. You have to eliminate the hazards or modify the risk that it present. So the enjoyment of this standard is basic human right that should be afforded to each and every worker. So regardless of the nature of the work, so it is really needed to the uh, uh, industries or any form of job to have a OHS procedures because it is helpful to every individual, especially the workers. So with OHS standards in place, workers are able to carry out the responsibilities in a safe and secure working environment, and it is free from hazards. So there are three steps that are needed to be able to prevent danger from hazard. So the first is spot the hazard. The second is assess the risk, and the third one is the make the changes. So first, let's discuss first spot the hazard. So based on your understanding, class, why is it necessary to maintain a before we discuss spot the hazard, based on our discussion, we talk about safety in our workplace. So based on your own understanding, why is it necessary to maintain a health and safety in a workplace? So anyone from the class?
To avoid accidents.
Yes, very good. To avoid accident. So in a workplace, as an employer, if ever you become an employer to a small business, so as an employer, protecting your workers, you can reduce absences, so ensuring that your workplace is more efficient and productive. Because if your workers are uh, prone to accidents, maybe they can earn some illness, and sometimes they cannot go to work, and it can affect the production of your business. So the workers are more productive in workplace that are committed to health and safety. So reducing downtime caused by illness and accident means less disruption and saves your business money. So let's identify first what is hazard. So a hazard is anything that could hurt you or someone else. So whatever things that can hurt you, it is called hazard. So do you think heartbroken? Uh, do we? Are we? Are we considered heartbroken is a hazard? So
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
what?
sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
active guy. Yes, hazard. So broken hearted is also a hazard. So because it will hurt you inside and out. So these are examples of work, but we talk about workplace hazard. So these are the some examples of workplace hazard. So first is fried electrical cords. So are you familiar with that?
Yes.
sir.
Second, boxes stuck precariously. Are you familiar with it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Third one is noisy machinery. So this is present in the big machinery company that that is that produce a product of a machines. And second, the second is assess the risk. So assess the risk means working at how likely it is that a hazard will harm someone and how serious the harm could be. And second, please read Mr. Tolentino. Can you read that? Whenever.
Yes, sir. Whenever you spot answer, assess by asking yourself two questions. How likely it is that the hazard could harm or someone else? How, how badly could I or someone else be harmed?
Okay, very good. Thank you. So risk assessment is the identification of hazards that could negatively impact an individual's ability to conduct a business. So this assessment will help identify the risk and provide measures, process, and controls to reduce the impact of this risk to business operation. And always tell someone if ever you encounter a danger or a hazard, always tell someone because you can if you can fix it by yourself, especially if the hazard could cause serious harm to anyone. So first thing you do is to ask your supervisor for instructions and training before using equipment. You must know the capacity or capabilities of an equipment before using it to prevent any danger in the production. And second is ask for help moving or lifting heavy objects, especially those girls. Uh, you have to ask help the boys or other individual that would lift the heavy objects. And last one is tell your supervisor if you think a work practice could be a dangerous. You have to make sure that uh, the work is safe and sound. Okay, the last one is make the changes. So in making changes, it's the employer responsibility to fix hazard. But sometimes just remember this. Sometimes you may be able to fix simple hazard by yourself as long as you don't put yourself or others at risk. And so, in addition to the definition of hazard, so what does hazard mean? Can you read it, Mr. Abrigo?
What does hazard mean? A hazard is a situation in the workplace that has the potential to harm the health and safety of people or to damage and equipment. The situation could involve attacks, chemical or equipment use. Hazard management is a continuous process that can be used to improve the health and safety of all workplace.
Okay, thank you. So you have to make sure, guys, that uh, if you are not sure of the safest way to do something on a work experience or workplace, always ask yourself, always ask yourself or your coworkers to help you, especially your supervisors, to make it clear and safe. So common hazard encountered by computer technicians and users. So there are five common hazard encountered by computer technicians and users. Can you guess, guys, what are some hazard? Can you based on your stock knowledge there? So can you give me an example of a hazard? Anyone? Do you have any idea?
Exposed wire, sir.
Pardon, please.
Yes, sir. I think that exposed wire or kanang wire nga nay paklot gali, sir. I think it's considered a hazard, sir, in the computer lab.
Okay, yes, thank you. Uh, so common hazards encountered by computer technicians are the five in a computer lab, especially. So first is a physical hazard. Second is mechanical hazards. Third is chemical hazard. And fourth is electric shock hazard. The last one is CRT monitors high voltage hazard. So let's discuss it one by one. First is physical hazard. One of the most common physical hazards involving computer technicians is cables running across the floor. So as you remember, the picture that I have shown you earlier, one of the three pictures, the first picture is running across the floor. So it can cause a person to stumble because of the cables running around the floor. So if someone trips, falls, and hurts himself because of a cable you run across the floor, someone has a serious legal negligence problem. So as you can see in the picture, it has a plenty of cables. It is not arranged properly, so it may cause danger to anyone in the computer laboratory. So next is mechanical hazard. So mechanical hazard are hazards created by use of exposure to either powered or manually operated equipment, machinery, and plant. So when working on electric equipment, ask yourself, remember this, student, is there any, you have to remember that you ask yourself, is there any way this equipment could before you use that equipment, you have to make sure first you ask yourself if it is safe to use or not. So as you can see in the picture, it is a printer. I think it's a printer. So simple printing troubleshooting is an example of a mechanical hazard. It may do harm you if you stick your hand in the printer and the paper feed arm suddenly moves. So feeding not only paper to the printer but a piece of your finger. So when working on an electronic equipment, you have to make sure a safe and sound proper way of using it. So next one is chemical hazard. So can you read it, Mr. Padua?
There is a wide array of chemicals used with electronic equipment. These include display cleaning, keyboard cleaning chemical, compressed gas, dirt, and dust removal, and many cleaning solvents. Some of these can be harmful if accidentally slowly, swallowed. Come into the burst in it in the eyes. Always read an instruction of the label before using jet printer.
Okay, thank you. So we must in chemical hazard
Cartridges
we must be
or laser printer to tuner cartridges and
okay. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
siguro
Mr.
connection.
Padua. Yes. So chemical hazard, we must be careful of the whatever chemicals that we found, especially in the computer laboratory, because it has a plenty of chemicals. Because sometimes we use chemicals to clean the desktop, to clean the table, to clean the mouse or the keyboard and other facilities or equipment inside the computer laboratory. So it may cause danger to ourselves and other people in the environment of that computer laboratory. So next one is electric shock hazard. So an electric shock occurs when someone has direct contact with a high voltage current that travels through the body. So the real danger from electricity is an electric shock. Therefore, dangerous electrical conditions are called shock hazard. So to prevent the possible danger of the hazard, each workplace should have a guidelines to be followed in order to is to protect people from injury. So it is very important to have a guidelines for us to be protected from any injury. Second is protect equipments from damage. It's also important because you can work if your equipment is damaged. And the last one is to protect the environment from contamination. So as we all know in this generation, because of the plenty of machinery in our country, in our community, the environment has damaged already because of the contamination of the chemicals and other dangerous elements in this country. So last one is the CRT monitors high voltage hazard. Are you familiar with CRT monitors? Who among you here are familiar with this CRT monitors? Anyone? Are you familiar with it? CRT monitors?
No, sir.
None so far, sir.
Yes. Not too.
None. So CRT monitors are one of the most dangerous pieces of household electronics to disassemble. Know the risk before doing. So ways of caution, CRT monitors include a high voltage capacitor that can hold a charge long after being unplugged. So the average color TV has 27 volts with fully charged well over lethal level. So these CRT monitors you can see it in a TV or a computer, especially those old TVs and old kind of computers. So this one is the picture of CRT monitors. So this is the danger that will affect that will display if this CRT monitors damage. So this is very dangerous. So there are some analogs that display devices that rely on electron beams and transport dots to create an image on the screen. So this is the use of these CRT monitors. So I know that you are familiar, but you are familiar with the picture, but the name CRT monitors is not
Yes,
familiar
sir.
at your end.
Worship
Am I
at
right?
TV, sir, no?
sir.
Yes, the old TV,
Yes, sir.
the CRT monitors. It is the reason why it reflects the images of the TV screen. So there are 15 occupational health and safety procedure. So can you, but before that, reminders before you start disassembling your computer, please keep both your unit and yourself safe. This is very important to remember, guys, because it is very important to be to have a safe to have a safe uh, to protect yourself in a safe environment, especially dealing with electronic device, especially in computer laboratory. So uh, number one to four, please read Miss Ami.
Okay, sir. 1. Read and follow instruct the manual carefully. 2. Do not work alone so that there's someone who can take care of you in case of accident or emergency. 3. Always power off and unplug the computer before working on it. 4. Take off any metal objects on your arms or fingers such as bracelets, rings, or watches, even if your unit is unplugged. There may still be some remaining electric charge. 5. Ay,
Only four. Yes, Miss. Only four. So number 5 to 7, please read, Miss Gomez.
5. 5. Always ground or discharge yourself before touching any part of the computer, such as the computer casing, and make sure your hands are completely dry to avoid damaging any mechanical parts as well as to avoid electrocution. 6. Be careful with the tools that may cause short circuit or such as screwdrivers. And 7. Handle all parts with care and place each piece you remove carefully down into a table surface. If a component does not come out easily, do not use excessive force. I'm so sorry, sir. I cannot read this part. Force if things don't quite slip into place, or instead check if you remove it correctly and no wires were still connected in the hardware.
Next, number 9 to 11, please read, Mr. Tolentino.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Yun na yung signal. Po.
8 to 11, better. 8 to 11.
8. Always screw the cable connector on the handle and not on the cap. 9. Be sure you're standing in a dry place with only rubber shaft. When standing on the ground, in concrete floor. 10. Make sure that the pistons are properly aligned when connecting a cable connector. 11. Take away any liquid such as mineral water or soft drinks near your working area or near computers. The 3 of most damaging things to a computer are moisture, sweet drinking water, shock electric or spark being dropped, and thus any debris from household dust to piece of wood.
Okay. Number 12, so that's Mr. Ago to read number 12 until 13.
13, sir. Photo.
12 to 13, sir.
15.
Number 12 to 13.
Personal protective equipment is correctly used in accordance with organization OS procedures and practice. 13. Hazard risks in the workplace and their corresponding indicators are identified to minimize or eliminate risk to co-workers, workplace, and environment.
Okay, number 10, I will read it. So Number 15, take necessary precautions to protect the component of the computer from damage caused by electrostatic discharge or ESD. And the last one is hold the components by edges and do not touch the ICs. So these 15 occupational health and safety procedures is very important to remember, especially working in a computer laboratory. So I think all of it is very understandable. So always remember this, guys, that uh, if everything that does not fit for it, that everything that are not fit for it, so it means that it does not belong to it. So it's like just a relationship, di ba? If it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you. Ayaw pugsa.
Sheesh.
Okay.
sir.
So uh, I have here, that's the end of our discussion. So I have here an activity. So may I request of you to get a piece of paper, any plain paper or bond paper, in a ball pen or a pencil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, are you all have the materials?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, let's listen carefully to my instruction. So, my screen.
Yes, sir.
So I want you, listen carefully. I want you to make your own simple signage, a simple signage that implicates cautions of the possible risk and hazard. So is it understandable at your end, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So just imagine any hazard or recall with your experience of some danger that you have encountered before, and just write a few things or a simple or a drawing to emphasize a signage to prevent that uh, danger or hazard. Just a simple. I'll give you 5 minutes to do that. And after that, I will see if your output is very creative and acceptable at my end. So time starts now, guys.
Can I ask something, sir?
Yes, Ms. Gomez.
We will present it here, sir, ang among signage.
Yes, pardon.
Yes, sir. Among i-present among signage, sir. Now, karon.
Yes, you just make a simple signage. Whatever it is, bisag wiris-wiris sa na siya or unsa. Basta kay mapakita nga signage na siya. So,
Excuse me, sir.
simple na simple. Simple signage.
Excuse me,
5 minutes to do that.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Mr. Padua.
Pwede paki-explain Bisaya?
What? I-translate o Bisaya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, i-translate o Bisaya for your understanding. So, magama mo og signage, kapag mo og signage, ang signage ato na siya ibutang sa mga streets, na nagpakita ba nga kani siya paingon ni siya bayawan, kani paingon og kuan. Tapos ang imong gamon ra signage kabahin sa mga to prevent any hazard na ma-encounter nimo. For example, magbutang ka og CR, maingon ka nga kuan kanang hinay-hinay kay danlog. Okay na ba?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So is that understandable at your end, Mr. Padua?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So 5 minutes starts now. Nicholas, are you done?
I'm finished, sir. I'm done.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ayan, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Since everyone is done, don't forget to write your name at your outputs. Please write your name, the date for
Yes.
today, and your signature at the bottom of the bond paper or paper. Are you done? Are you done putting your name in there?
Yes, sir. Manan ako, sir.
So I want you to take a picture for it and take a selfie for it together with you, with your face. And I have a link that sent in the Google Classroom. Kindly send your pictures in the link provided at the Google Classroom. That serves as a activity points for this evening.
Yes,
Are we clear with that, everyone?
Yes, sir.
yes,
Sir.
Okay, are you done?
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes,
yes, sir.
sir.
Hindi pa makita.
Right.
Ako sa picture.
Okay, take a picture of it, Mr. Abrigo, and send it in a Google Classroom link. Okay. Okay, since
Saan ako rin? Sir, pakita rin ako. Dati di maklaro.
yes,
ha?
send it in Google Classroom, Mr. Abrigo. So next is regarding our topic for this evening. Do you have any clarifications or can you state your understanding about the lesson that we tackled this evening? Anyone from the class? What have you learned? What have you learned for this evening's class?
learn.
I've learned about the hazards or risk in the computer lab, sir.
Yes.
Learned a
Another
lot.
answer.
I learned how to avoid in risk, danger.
Yes, very good, Mr. Salan. So, yes, Mr. Padua, you're raising your hand. Mr. Padua, are you there?
Monitor high voltage hazard.
Okay, good. So, all of you are actively listening to my discussion. So, I think, is there any clarifications, suggestions, or any questions regarding our topic this evening? Do you have any?
No, sir.
None so far, sir.
Okay, since none so far, we will have a quiz for this evening, a short quiz. Are you ready with the quiz that I will go and give you this evening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I try.
Wow,
Yes.
very. So, for this evening, for your quiz, I will give you a short quiz. Just visit our Google Classroom, guys. So after we end our class, so the quiz is posted in there. Read and follow carefully the instructions. So the quiz will last 30 minutes and time will start right after we end our discussion for this evening. So after our class, just go directly to our Google Classroom and take the quiz because it will last 30 minutes. So be responsible and be honest to the answers to answer the quiz, and good luck, guys. So is that clear? My instruction is clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
So do you have any clarification regarding our quiz or short quiz?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
None, sir.
So far. So since none so far, so let's move on to our assignment. We will have our assignment. So our assignment, conduct an interview with a skilled computer technician and ask the following question. First question is, what are your personal preparation for your own safety when working? Second is, what are the safety precautions that you apply when working? And the last one is, what are your tips for beginners like you as a student in adhering with the safety precautions? So just take a screenshot for it and answer it. I answer that questions. It depends on the interview you will going to do in a field. So I want you to include your answers and submit it in Google Classroom. So the deadline will be next week, Monday, 11:59 p.m. So is that clear, guys? Your assignment is clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Nothing, sir.
No, sir.
Since none, that's the end of our lesson, our discussion for this evening. But before we leave our Google Meet, I want you to the cameras. Please open the cameras. Take a screenshot. Please open, guys. We're running out of time. Please open your cameras. Can you open your cameras, guys?
We're already opening it, sir. I guess it's not visible on your end.
Okay, that's right. It is visible now. Okay. That's all for this evening, guys. And thank you for joining my class. Have a good evening and a safe evening to each and every one of you. Goodbye, class. Bye.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, sir.
Bye, sir.